Hey team, Xylaw here, and this is video log number 5. Today I want to talk to you guys about green screen and the Facecam. As a streamer, broadcaster, entertainer, performer, sometimes the options available to you become a bit overwhelming. In particular, when to use a green screen, when to use a camera. It is my opinion that it's not as simple as, oh, use a green screen, oh, use a camera, but rather the type of gaming that you want to do as a streamer will decide the type of visual feedback you want to give your audience. If you are a MMO RPG streamer, or you play, like, you're an esports crowd, you play StarCraft 2, you play like Dotas or any MOBAs, you don't really need a green screen. The green screen, also known as a chroma key reflector or a blue screen, but to the layman, it's a green screen. Because you're just showing yourself against the backdrop of your skill and ability as an entertainer. People are watching you not just because you're interesting, and they don't watch you just because of the games you play. They're watching to see skilled gaming. And as such, having you in the game, with just your face showing or whatever because you have a green screen, isn't really necessary. If anything, having the square as, because there's no green screen, it's a square, it might actually be better for the crowds. Not to mention, whenever you are a multiplayer game streamer, if you stream a lot of MMOs, you will very often want to hide your chat to prevent people from trolling you or screwing around with you. Also, you want to hide your chat so you can have private conversations with people. And if you have a green screen, how are you going to do that? Because then your camera's not square to go over the chat. What, you're going to blow up your face so it's huge so it covers the chat room? It doesn't really work that well. You need that square. And I don't know, people find it comforting in a multiplayer environment. But on the flip side, if you want to stream, let's say, Batman, or an RPG, a cinematic game, The Last of Us, something like BioShock, you don't want a giant square showing your entire room, okay? The objective is to be as unobtrusive as possible to make it as a cinematic and movie-like experience as possible. You just want to show your face so people could still feel like it's interactive, and see your reactions to what's going on in the game, but you want to have as little a footprint as possible. You just can't have your cam on all the time if you're going to have that big square. So if you want to stream story-based experiences, or you want to stream anything where the game is as much a draw as you, that's when you really want to get a chroma key reflector, aka a green screen. And it's an important distinction to make. Like you watch most MMO streamers, they don't use the green screen. You watch any of the professional broadcasters who stream a lot of single-player stuff, they almost always use the green screen. But they don't really vocalize most professionals, know what I'm talking about. This is not news to them, but it's very rare that people actually let you guys look behind the curtain and discuss these things, the streaming philosophy, with the world at large, because they jealously guard their secrets, or they just don't want to appear human, I guess. Or maybe they just think people aren't interested, which is why we have these video logs, right? So as a streamer, I quickly learned that if you want to stream MMOs or you want to play some MOBAs, a big square is all good. But if ever you want to stream games with a serious story aspect, where they need to see what's going on, then you want to use the green screen. But another question, which I haven't even addressed, right, is when do you not use a webcam at all? Like, forget the green screen, no green screen. How about you just don't use the camera, right? And then you don't have to worry about that stuff. No! No, you must use a camera. Okay? Without a webcam, it's not streaming anymore. The webcam makes it the interactive reality TV experience. You know, they need that. It's a connection into your world. It's a way of tying everyone together. There are broadcasters that don't use the webcam. And some broadcasters are very successful without a webcam. I'm not going to say it's not possible. But they would be more successful if they had a webcam. I think that visual, the face, it is a necessity. A lot of successful streamers who don't use webcams, they started off as YouTubers with Let's Plays, and most Let's Plays don't use webcams, so they're drawing on their YouTube audience. So it's not fair. You think, oh, look at all these people, they're successful on Twitch, they don't use a webcam. That's not the entire story. A lot of them started as YouTubers, and all their followers from YouTube watch them when they're live on Twitch, so they're used to not seeing the face, and they deal with it. Okay, it's different than if you're a straight-up broadcaster. All you do is stream on whatever website you stream at. You're not really a YouTuber. In that, good luck trying to make it there without a camera. And even if you can, I'm not saying it's impossible, it's doable, you would have been successful faster and more successful with the camera. There's no reason to hide your face. Never. Ever. People need to be able to feel like they're talking to you. That's the difference between watching a YouTube video and broadcasting, is that visual element of seeing the face, and not only that, but typing in chat and seeing the mouth respond to what you type. It's really cool. Not to mention you get to see emotion. Emotion. Especially with a horror game, not even just horror games, any game. You want to see the emotion on your broadcaster's face as they respond physically to what's going on in the games, and you can't do that without a webcam. So yeah, it's doable, but it holds you back. And most people say, oh, we don't want a webcam because I'm streaming incredibly immersive games like The Last of Us, right? And that goes back to what I was just talking about. That's why you have a green screen, because the green screen chops you down to just the body. It keeps you out of the way. You can always duck out during cutscenes, and the job is done. So yeah, as a broadcaster, if you want to be successful, you got to have a webcam. But the green screen is more debatable. It's an optional thing, and that's more based upon what you actually stream. If you're a pro StarCraft dude or MOBA master, or you're like a speedrunner man, you don't need a green screen. They're not watching you to see the game so much as they're watching you to see you destroy that game. In which case the big square is fine. But when you start streaming games like Alpha Protocol, or Deus Ex, people want to see the game. And they want to see you. And in order to get the best of both worlds, that's when you use the chroma key. As always, food for thought. If you have any thoughts, your input is always appreciated. Let me know, comment below. And that was video log number 5. Thank you everyone, and stay awesome.